met 2 Mondays ago, and since that time we've embarked on a 8-day, 4-game road trip, which we left on Thursday a week ago. Started at Lawrence, Kansas, against the number 2 team in the country, Kansas Jayhawks. It was a great atmosphere there for the game. As we arrived at 5:20 for a 7 o'clock tip, there were 2,000 students in the arena waiting. They were lined up outside. The excitement was there for the warm-ups. And we had a good game plan. We got off to a good start. We made shots and had a 12-point lead in the first half. Unfortunately, we didn't continue to make shots and came up a little bit short. I was proud of the way that we battled, and I feel like we got better as a basketball team against Kansas. We got up early the next morning and headed to Chicago from Kansas City and then to Fort Myers, where we participated in the Gulf Coast Showcase, a tournament that was 3 games in 3 days, similar to the Caymans Classic that we played in last year. And we beat a Mountain West team in Colorado State on the first day, shot the ball extremely well. The game got off to a pretty good start. It makes you worry as a coach. You get 2 shot clock violations, and then Jakina Gant hits 2 3-point shots. You're up 6-0. And we had a big lead in that game. We were able to hang on, and everyone played, and we won by 18 points. The next day against Toledo, a very good team from the MAC, who has won the second most games in the MAC the last few years behind Buffalo. Well-coached team by Todd Kowalczyk. They jumped on us pretty good. We came back, and we're down 1 at the half. And the second half, we allowed them to make 8 of their first 10 shots. And losing a game where we shoot 18% from 3, we're not going to win many games when that happens. The same thing happened in the middle game of the Caymans a year ago against Wyoming, and we shot 5 of 27 from 3. So, but like the Caymans, we rebounded the next day and beat Tulane out of the American Conference. A good win for our program. We tried to play those guys in the past, and they didn't want to play, so we don't get many opportunities. And didn't play great in that game. Didn't shoot the ball great, but we did hang on to win. And shooting 36%, I believe. It's the 3rd game this year that we've shot in the 30s, less than 40%, and the first one that we've won. Last year we shot 5 games. There were 5 games where we shot less than 40% in conference play or in games, and we lost all 5 of those. So shows that we're able to win. We did it by a great rebounding effort. We got 20 offensive rebounds. Jakina Gant and Justin Miller had double-doubles. And Marcus Stroman had a career-high 26 points. So we improved as a basketball team. We came home, took off Thanksgiving evening and the weekend, got back to practice last night in preparation for a good UNO team that will play this week. They're not quite as big as they were last year, but they're athletic. They play extremely hard, and they're off to a good start. They're undefeated at home, and we'll look forward to playing those guys on Wednesday. And this weekend we'll play Southern out of Baton Rouge. First time we played them in many years, so good opportunity there to play another in-state game here at home. And after the championship football game on Saturday afternoon, hopefully we can get a good crowd to come out to Cajun Dome and support us against the Southern Jaguars.
Okay, well, questions. What do you think is the biggest thing that you learned from the Gulf Coast Showcase?
Well, we did a good job of battling when we didn't shoot the ball well, and we're able to rebound the ball, take good care of the basketball. We've had 2 single-digit turnover games, and we're averaging 12 turnovers per game, which is outstanding. I believe it's 2nd in the league. So we're not rebounding the ball the way we have in the past, but if we're hanging on to the ball, we're getting extra opportunities.
Has Gant just been playing extra aggressively, or what's been behind his early season?
Shot the ball good at Kansas for a minute. And has not shot the three-point shot great, but he has shot free throws great. He's shooting 81% from the free throw line. I believe that's missing his first one against the Virgin Islands. So he's really done a good job there. But he was active, played through some tendonitis in his knee, and was on par to have a great game against Colorado State, but he didn't play the last 12 minutes of the game. I think he had 19 and 8 or 9 and a couple of blocks. So he could have put up really big numbers in that game, but it made sense to rest him with a sore knee and give him an opportunity to come back in the next 2 evenings.
Does it, mean, maybe it's always around this time of year between holidays and exams and all that, but does it concern you when you have as many games in a row as you have, and all of a sudden you go a lull with, like almost a week in between with nothing?
No, it's we've had the same schedule the last couple of years, so it doesn't affect us at all. We're playing 2 games per week. We did play 4 in a week basically, but now we're back to 2 per week schedule, and that'll carry on most of the rest of the season. At UNO, on a different note, they've had 10 days off. They went from the 14th to 24th, and then they've got a 7-day break after us, and they got another 7-day break. So I don't know how that would work for us, but the schedule that we're on currently is something that we're used to.
You've had sometimes in the past to sort of push Marcus to take shots. Are shots just coming to him in the natural flow of it now, or is he being more naturally trying to score more?
Well, he was aggressive. It felt like he played poor against Toledo, and he and I had a conversation the next morning and talked to his AU coach as well, who's a strong mentor to Marcus. And he was aggressive. He got to the paint. He took good shots, and he totally dominated the second half. He had 19 points in the second half, and wasn't going to let us lose. And it cuts into his assist. He was third in the nation going in the tournament in assist. But if we're not making shots, and he's the one making shots, and his assists are going to suffer a little bit. But did a really good job of running the team and also scoring for us when we really needed it.
Coach, how close to 100% or where he would have been had he not had any offseason is Cedric right now? Where is he?
He's struggling a little bit, just getting in rhythm and confidence. I think he's still bothered a little bit by his foot. He says he's not, but he's not running quite the same as he has. But he's fighting through it. I look for him to break out in this homestand. We're glad to be at home coming up, and hopefully he'll make some shots and really get his confidence going. P.J. Hardy, too, he's another one that shot the ball great all fall and hasn't made a three-pointer in a game yet.
Coach, with the 3 losses that you guys have, it seems like you are battling in the first half, and then in the second half, you guys aren't finishing. What's the missing link? What's missing in order to get those into wins?
Well, we've got to play better and make shots. Anytime you're on the road against any team, let alone 2 top 10 teams in the country, you've got to make shots, and we just didn't do that. And I felt like Tennessee played very well against us. Kansas did not. And then Toledo played very well against us. They're an older team. They've got guys who shoot the basketball. So it's about getting stops and making shots for the most part and catching a break down the stretch.
What's the biggest challenge you see New Orleans presenting for you guys?
UNO plays extremely hard. We'll have to match their energy and rebound the ball the way we did on Wednesday against Tulane.
NCAA released their first net standings today. You guys are at 120, just for reference. Kansas is 11, Tennessee 27, Toledo 105. Just your thoughts on how the new ranking system is going to impact and kind of replace the RPI?
Haven't looked at it at all and really don't worry about it. It's the same that we've always talked about. That's for you guys and fans and maybe NCAA selection committee, but we know how that works at the end. So have not studied it enough, but that's probably accurate reading. It's in the upper third of the teams in Division I basketball, and with the schedule we played, hopefully it'll increase. I know Tennessee plays Gonzaga in Phoenix here in about 2 weeks on the neutral court, which would be a great game, and all that could help us at the end.
Did you watch Kansas and Tennessee go to overtime the other night? Did you already get enough of those guys?
No, I watched it. Of course, Tennessee called me the morning of the game and asked me my thoughts. I felt like Tennessee had the game in control late, and Grant Williams fouled out. They missed a couple of opportunities, and then Kansas, Vic hit a big shot. They had some plays down the stretch, and then Lawson played really well. But Schofield didn't play good for Tennessee. He played great in the overtime, but he struggled during the game. And Tennessee missed some opportunities. They certainly could have won that game, but to go overtime was probably par for the course with the 2 teams that we played. It's a good basketball game.